Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give you a simple message which is only an audio to our channel. Now, since the last video that I'd made on the archanology, many things have come to pass, many changes in the realm, and we know that when we speak of things, that is when these things start to change. And so my point of direction is to give you the simple message. The simple message is a very deep one. It's profound information that should sit with you for a while before you attempt to even try and dismantle it. And my idea that I would like to share with you is about what you see in your reality versus what you see in the outer reality or the external realm. There where most of the imagings are taking place. And so I want you to take time to have a look at what you're seeing. The human state is in a constant hyperstasis or flux, forever always being swept by many others' imaginations and ideas that they project into this world for people to believe in. This is their hyper-causality. I call it that because they are impressioning upon your minds as you look upon what they show you, their God status or their godness, godhood, or their godly works. But they're not saying which godly works. And it becomes more apparent over the time of the days that since the last video that there is a fragmentation taking place. And this particular fragmentation is related to things that you perhaps once thought you knew, to where you are experiencing things in its raw form. A simple example is an image that was taken from that movie, The Matrix, where there was much focus on the visual for you to perceive and to believe a certain belief, so that you will believe that you are a human battery for them to consume, because this was why it was presented to you in that movie and the many others that have come from since then. And so many prophets and idealists and visionaries have profiteered from this, and many of them have attempted to try and redirect the imagination and the minds of man to contribute to the creations of what you're experiencing right now. The fatalistic expression in terms of the reality in which you exist in can be fatalistic to you if you absorb it. If there are those that present material to you to give you supposed insight, don't you feel you should question the intention behind that image or that idea? And so I want to present to you the message that what you are seeking in all of this time is to truly find a type of peace. Perhaps you seek retribution. Perhaps you seek judgment. Perhaps you seek a reason behind the insanity. And so you will be blessed with finding reasons behind insanity. You will be blessed with the power of creation to understand the chaos. If you look for it, it will present itself to you. If you believe that you are existing in a realm that is outside of this realm looking in, and you adopt the objective viewpoint, you will see things for what they are. And you may lose at times the ability to feel love. Because once you see everything for what they are, it can often make you feel despondent. You feel helpless. You feel angry. You go even deeper into what you think you need to see, and it will present itself to you. You see, the understanding of the I or the self is really not the physical I, as in I, the letter, but the impression of the I, the visual sense, the eyeball in your head, to put it like that. For those of you who are familiar with the saying, the apple of my eye, there is much power behind that message, that information, that statement. It means that that is where the favorite one is, in the eye. And so beauty and war lie within the eye of the beholder. When you look for it, you will see it. So you must be mindful of how you look, and in what way you look, and in what way you perceive what you want to see. And so I want to ask for you to focus on what you want to see, not of the self, not from a wounded place, not from a feeling of wanting to see retribution, not wanting to see things in the sense that they are presenting themselves as flawed. I want you to see from within your original state of consciousness. How do you do that? You simply go within, you close your eyes, and you allow your thoughts to present themselves to you, and you become the editor of these thoughts. You decide the image that you want to see, and you forget about yourself momentarily while you're experiencing that image, and you impression it upon your mind, your thoughts, your body, your language, your thinking. And so you are then able to keep it alive. Hold on to that ideal. There are, as we speak, plus minus 7 billion creative streams constantly working along with each other or against one another. In every human being, there is a creative stream of thought. In every human being, whether they are those that appear to be minions of the system or not. If you have eyes to see, even if you are blind physically, impaired visually, you still have the eye to see. Your imagination is the inner eye. There is a big story going around about the pineal gland. It's butchered to a point where you feel you are unable to understand the expression of it. I mean, you become obsessed with the idea of the pineal gland, that it must be this or it must be that, it must be without flaws. But the pineal gland is only part of the sensory imaging of what is presented within what you see. Even as you're listening to what I'm saying to you, I'm asking you to impression in your mind your own thoughts. This is why I'm not giving you an image of me. I'm giving you an audio to listen to. And while you are questioning yourself and where you fit in this world, be it flat, round, square, toroidal, fake, however you want to present it to make you feel better, be mindful that your eye is what allows the image to process in your imagination, in your imaging ability. There are those that that have been exploring this with me, and you have seen many things within your conscious thoughts. And the lesson is always to be mindful how to present an image and how not to present an image. What do you want to have? What do you want to see? What do you want to explore? Realize that the synthetics of the system is only a memetic membrane overlapping an eye that perhaps has been dulled in its original view of things. Perhaps people have become tired, and perhaps that was the intention all along. There are those that sit in a corner in a room somewhere, and this is not an actual view, but I'm using it as an example, that present and project imagings to the world to see and to capture your senses, so that you are at all times occupied with the idea of what the other wants you to see and experience. And so even the wars and the rituals and the bloodletting and the mind control and the conflicts within the paradigms of the mental state of mind is always been and always has been about the mind and about how you see the enemy. If you want to imagine the enemy as a boogeyman, I've said this so many times, then you will be presented with the boogeyman. And so we are at war. The war that is about the war for the I. The great I am. Which I can see the best? Which I can present the biggest picture for you to see? If the world is falling for you, then your world is falling. If you live in a world that is separate from this world, then that is where you will be. Where is the natural balance to that? That is up to you. That is your choice. You need to decide that. Do we live in a fake world? Yeah, to some extent, because it is presented in an imaging to you. Does it make you feel upset or angry? Do you feel left out? It is important for you to understand that what makes the visual sense work is based on light and the impression and pressure of light into the eye, the actual eyeball itself. Look it up. What I also feel sometimes is that the realm that we live in is based on an eyeball, perhaps. The entire cut through of the eye, if you had to look at it, would almost be exactly to everyone's idealistic impressions. Those who believe in crater Earth, those who believe in flat Earth, those who believe in toroidal Earth, those who believe in spherical Earth. It can go on and on and on and on and on. If you cut through the eye, you will see all of those facets fit into that eye, including the mythologies. Sometimes the intention really overpowers the ability to reason. And so I leave with you the understanding that you need to seek the balance within. Be reasonable in your logic. Be reasonable in your heart. Be reasonable into what you allow yourself to see. I'm not saying become in denial. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying stick your head in the sand unless you want to do it. That is your free will. What I'm saying to you is be mindful as to what power you give to those who present to you an imaging that leaves you with zero choice. This means every single thing that you look at, when you are left with a place of no choice, of no free understanding, of nothing left for you to have food for thought, then you need to understand where you are. Then you will see what you really are looking at. You see, it's interesting. If I want you to see something, I will only present that thing to you, and I will give you no choice or no food for thought, so that you will only be mesmerized by that imaging. That's what the Imagineers of Disney is now known as. Imagineers, imagine that. Again, focus on the inner eye, the place of reasoning, not the pineal gland, the inner eye, the insight. Switch off things and think. Allow your thoughts to just move within you. If you find yourself having no thoughts, well, then I say you have a bit of a problem. So do things to bring thoughts back into your mind. I leave this with you. May you be filled with love and imagination and creativity.